Everybody, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of a brand new feature we have on StudyFetch called Tutor Me. Tutor Me is a one-on-one personalized learning session with our AI tutor, Sparky. Sparky can walk students through any type of document, like a PowerPoint or a PDF presentation, and teach them, going voice-oriented along the way throughout the whole lesson. It's completely personalized towards every student using it. That means it's infinitely patient, and you can keep asking questions back and forth. Or you can direct the lesson in a certain way or ask it to talk faster or slower, and every student will have their own learning experience tailored exactly towards them in this session. They can always go back to it later. They can create multiple sessions with different lesson plans, do it at 3 in the morning when no one's available. It's here. So here's the document that I uploaded to StudyFetch. It's the same document I could use to create flashcards, test and practice quizzes, audio explainers, videos, all that. But I'll go ahead and I'll start the session with this viruses document. I'll then set my learning goal for the session. So this could be if I wanted to focus on like a specific type of, piece of content in the document, or I wanted to summarize and quickly move through the whole thing, or maybe, dig deeper in a certain section that I was struggling before. So let's just go ahead and say I want to chat about the document just to keep it easy for the demo. I'll click create. So in this, page is where you can invite your friends. They can come join the lesson, all that type of stuff. And I can just go ahead and get started. So you'll first initially see that Sparky will create this lesson plan for me. You'll see the introduction to viruses, understanding virus structure, non-viral particles, all that. And it'll be populated over here so I can see it for the whole lesson. Sparky will mark these off as we go through the lesson, so it can make sure I'm staying in touch with my learning goals.
Welcome, Ryan. Let's begin our discussion about viruses. We're starting on page 1, which covers the basic concept of viruses. Here, it states that viruses do not belong to any kingdom and are not classified as plants, animals, fungi, protists, or bacteria. Are you ready to dive into more details, or do you have any questions so far?
Sparky, I got that completely. I'm ready to move on.
Great. Let's continue. I'll move us to page 2 so we can... Now we're on page 2, which defines a virus as an infectious agent composed of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, enclosed in a protein coat called a capsid.
Hey, Sparky, I'm sorry to interject here, but can you go more deeper into a capsid? I'm not really getting what that is.
No problem, Ryan. A capsid is the protein shell that surrounds the genetic material of a virus. It protects the nucleic acid, which can be either DNA or RNA. The capsid is composed of protein subunits called capsomeres, and it plays a crucial role in determining the shape of the virus. Does that help clarify things for you?
Yeah, 100%. Can you show me a quiz question just so I can make sure that I understand what that capsid means?
Here's a quiz question for you. What is the primary function of a capsid in a virus? A, to provide energy for viral replication. B, to protect the viral genetic material. C, to facilitate the entry of the virus into host cells. D, to assist in the synthesis of viral proteins. What's your answer?
I'm going to go with B.
That's correct. The primary function of a capsid is to protect the viral genetic material. Well done. Now that we've clarified the role of the capsid, would you like to continue with the lesson?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. We'll move on to page 3, where we'll explore the structure. Now on page 3, we're discussing the genetic material of viruses and their parasitic nature. Viruses contain either DNA or RNA, but not both. Some viruses, like retroviruses, have RNA that transcribes into DNA.
Hey, Sparky, I'm sorry for this, but can you talk really fast? You're way too slow for me right now.
I understand. I'll speed things up for you. On page 3, we discuss the genetic material of viruses, which can be either DNA or RNA, but not both. Viruses are parasites that depend entirely on a host organism, often harming it. There's an illustration comparing a virus to a cell and a flea on a dog to demonstrate parasitism. Do you have any questions before we move to the next page?
No questions. Love the dog reference, Sparky.
I'm glad you liked it. Let's keep going. We'll move on to page 4 to continue our exploration. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Here we are on page 4, which explains the structure of viruses with images of bacterial phages and flu HIV viruses. It highlights that viruses consist of a capsid containing DNA or RNA, and some, like flu and HIV,
we already went
have
over the
surface.
capsid thing, Sparky. Can we just continue on to the next segment?
Sure thing. Let's continue to page 5, which will further explore the structure of viruses. Ready to move on?
Yeah, ready to move on. You can mark that as complete.
I've marked the section on understanding virus structure as complete. Let's move on to page 5. On page 5, we see diagrams illustrating the